throw. Has time. Pass. End zone. Caught. It's good. D. Anderson and the Showboats have won it in overtime. Going to hand this off up the middle for Marable. He's going to fumble. Ball's loose. And St. Louis picks it up. That will do it. The Battlehawks defense makes a play late. Game on the line. Looking to throw. Has time. End zone. Incomplete. It's incomplete. The Stallions hang on to win. For overtime. DeLeo to throw. Pass. Caught by Roland. Needs some help. Not gonna get it. He's stopped a yard short. Houston will pull off the upset. Looking to throw. Has time. Deep. Right side overthrown. Picked off. It's intercepted by Keenan Isaac. He's gonna need it right there. They hand this off right side for Roland. They convert the 10-5. Chris Roland. I should shut up. Chris Roland touchdown. That's the dagger. Knicks toss left side and there's room. Pass past the 30, past the 40, past the 20, 15, 10, 5. RJ Harvey. There we go. One play. Just need one play out of you. Gonna play action and look to throw. Mariota, sometime. Pass, intercepted. It's picked off. Yes, yes. One play was all they needed. Jack Jones. Williams, play action. Rolling left, looking to throw. Has time. Pass, end zone, intercepted. It's Keyshawn Nixon calling game. Darnold to throw. Has time. Pass, wide open. Over the middle. The Seattle Seahawks do it. Play action looking to throw. Williams has some time. Pass deep. Over the middle. Has a man. It's DJ Moore. Touchdown Chicago. They win in overtime. Snap good. Hold good. Kick up. And he missed it. Wide right. The Steelers will host Houston on Monday night. Williams in shotgun. Back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. 4th and 4. Trip to Seattle on the line. Man in motion. Williams looking to throw. Pressure coming. Rolling left. Trying to buy some time. Back near the 40. Pass left side. Williams is caught. Touchdown Chicago. Cole Kmet. Somehow the magic remains. What? May looking to throw in 3rd and 6. Rolling left. Gonna take it himself. And that will do it. A first down carry. It's a gain of 7. And the Patriots have booked their ticket to Santa Clara. Zeros on the clock. The Seattle Seahawks, for the first time since 2014, are your NFC champion. Hello, everybody, and welcome on in. Week 9 continues. It is the Stallions going against the Aviators. Rematch of last week's win that the Stallions had at home. And this should be a pretty interesting one. Don't have any real expectations after how defensive focused last week's game was, but we shall see. As I have to quickly switch over to ESPN News for the start of this game because some softball's going long. But welcome on in. Kickoff is moments away from Columbus, Ohio. Again, no real expectations for this one. Especially with the fact that Jalen Morton is going to be getting the start for the Aviators this week. His first start of the season after 2 months of Jalen McClendon playing decent but not really good enough football. They turn to Jalen Morton and try and save the season, going against his former team. And the Stallions are wearing their all gold uniforms for this one. The first time we're seeing this gold uniform in action. This was initially supposed to be their main home uniform when the season started. Instead, has become pretty much an alternate uniform. So we'll finally see how this looks on the field. I was always cautiously hesitant with the gold uniforms for Birmingham. And it just took so long to see them. But now we're finally going to get them and see how they look on the field, which is always like the biggest test for me with jerseys and uniforms as a whole. Is like, yeah, it's going to look one way in studio lighting. But when it's actually on the field and in the stadium lighting and after being through a few plays and whatnot, how is it going to look then? So we'll see. Yeah. To be fair, like, I call it, like, I'm always going to be someone that leans in favor of professional sports over college sports anyway. But it's like, yeah, but it's like, I do just find it funny how, like, this is now the second week in a row where it's like, second week? Yeah, second week where ESPN News is where a game starts. Also, the one bright spot with it is the people that are really interested in the softball and are watching through the end of that one is going to be instantly transitioning into the UFL. So maybe we'll see them stick around. Maybe we'll see higher viewers. That's always like the small bright spot I see with that kind of stuff happening. It was the same thing when college hockey went long for the UFL earlier in the season, and when a few other sports end up going long, which is always like the nature of things. We have kickoff moments away, showing highlights from last week's game, the 14-3 win for the Stallions, which was very defensive focused. But we shall see how this one unfolds. I am curious about Jalen Morton, though, and how he's going to play. He's had a few snaps here and there. He hasn't been asked to throw the ball yet this season. He might have like 1 or 2 pass attempts, though. So we'll see how he does in a more proper under center role. Oh, they're all... Oh, yeah, it is in Columbus, and the end zone's going to be painted. We'll see. From the brief looks we're getting so far with these gold uniforms, I don't hate them. Like, they're still not great. But I'm sure once they get dirtied up a bit through play, they're going to look good enough. I do still think the maroon primaries are better, but I don't hate the gold as much as I thought I was going to. We have kickoff moments away, about 3 or so minutes. Yep. Yeah, AJ McCarron, I mean, he's been having a solid first year as a head coach. It started off rough, but the Stallions have been pretty hot since getting Dorian Thompson-Robinson in. Which okay, it does seem like a lot of what the Stallions offense was missing was just someone a bit more athletic. But we shall see. Signal. Okay. All right, let's see how this goes. Yeah, we'll see. Jonah Dalmas on to send this one down. Stallions win. They were sticking to that playoff spot into the final week. They can't clinch this week after the Orlando win last night. As kickoff is underway, going to be returned beginning from the 2, space out past the 15, out past the 20, and going to be out of bounds right around the 20, maybe 21. I mean, yeah, college sports are always going to get a bit of the edge with it. Again, it's like the game's just running long. It happens with every sport, basically. I don't mind it too much. Again, the idea is that due to that running a bit long and the fact they're going to instantly go from college softball to the UFL, maybe more people stick around and watch it so the league gets a bit more viewers. Yeah. Again, it's just got to deal with it. DTR and shotgun back to his right, looking to throw in 1st and 10. Rolling right, passing right, going to be intercepted on the first play of the game. has space past the 30 and going to be brought down right around the 29 of Birmingham. This Columbus defense off the bat with a big time play. That's how you start things. Oh, Donald Fortune has the Aviators in great field position for Jalen Morton to take the field. Tried to fit that in there along the sideline for, I believe that's Daywood Davis. That is a rough start. Yeah. So ball now on the Birmingham 30 as Morton is in shotgun, making his first start of the season. Back to his left, 3 receivers to the right, going to look to throw. Dump off right side, can be caught by Tay Martin with space past the 25 and out of bounds right around the 20. Should be enough for the first. Yeah, that's a hell of a start for Columbus. They're picking up right where they left off, at least defensively from last week. With just how consistent they can be. The question is going to be the offense. And seemingly they're going to want to get the passing game going a bit more. They've been a very run-first team this season. Yeah, no. The thing with Dorian Thompson-Robinson is he has his stretches of just poor play, but when he's good and when he's on, he is on his game. Handoff up the middle for Toa on 2nd and 1. Going to get inside the 20 to about the 15. So Columbus is inside the red zone for the first time on their opening drive. The thing with DTR has always been accuracy to a degree, consistency more so. Yeah, and using his legs more and having faith in that, which we've seen, like, his legs has been a big reason why the Stallions are back to 500 after the rough start. If he just has faith in them a bit more, you never know. Morton in shotgun, back to his right, going to hand this off for Toa up the middle, and going to fight his way for a gain of roughly 3 or 4, 3.5 more so, up to about the 11. Yeah, it's not a great start. But the Stallions have also had a pretty damn good red zone defense this season, so in theory they can, but it's gonna make things a bit tougher if they do. Morton in shotgun, gonna hand this off, going right on the jet sweep for Antoine Wells, and going to get out of bounds right around the 7 or so yard line. Gonna make it a 3rd and 2 coming up. Yeah. I have enough faith in the Birmingham front 7 to where even if Columbus scores, they're going to make them work for it. It's not going to be anything easy. Morton under center, back behind him, 2 receiving options to each side. Going to hand this off up the middle, and that's met instantly in the backfield for a loss of 2. That Birmingham front continues to be lights out in the red zone this season. The crowd seems pretty good. It seems pretty sizable considering this is the final home game for Columbus on the year. It seems pretty good. I will say for as down that attendance has been this season across the league, there are definitely Orlando, Columbus, and Louisville have at least been somewhat consistent in their attendance. So I will give them that. So 4th and 3, and the offense is staying on the field. Morton in shotgun, dump off right side, gets blown up. It's a backwards pass, and Birmingham has it. He is gone. The Stallions defense now making a play, and they go up by 6. Alex Cook blowing up the halfback screen. And what a start in the first 3.5 minutes of this one. Okay. That does not... The broadcast says double pass. It doesn't seem like it. But yeah, I was trying to get it to Zaquandre White nonetheless on a swing route. And Alex Cook, like a Book takes it to the house. Jeez, that's a heads-up play. Yeah, he read that the entire way. Again, this Birmingham red zone defense might be the best in the league. Now the extra point. Andres Carlson on. Kick is up and it's blocked. The extra point is blocked and Columbus is going to have it for the return. Trying to get something out of this. Breaking off tackles with space. Has a blocker down the field inside the 30, the 25, the 20, 15, 10, 5. He returns it for 2. What? Sure, why not? This game was already off the rails. So this game has started with the interception on the first play. It's a return for 1. So it starts with an interception on the first play. A backwards pass that gets returned for 6 for Birmingham. No, that's it too. And then a blocked extra point returned for 2. You know, I expected this game to be a bit weird, but not like this. It's Akeem Dent who blocks it. And it's Nahimi and Shelton on the return. Okay, even the broadcast doesn't know how many points Columbus just got off of that. Now they're back to 1. Either way. Yeah. This is something to start this. And yeah, Columbus will still be getting the ball anyway. Sure. I expected this game to be a bit weird. Not a 6. The broadcast is saying 6-1. ESPN's website saying 6-2. We'll figure it out. Okay. The start is so crazy, it's bugging out my OBS. Yeah, so McCarron is pissed because he believes he lined up off sides, but it can't be reviewed. Yeah. Again, my OBS bugged out after that. We should be good, though. Alright, kickoff underway. Going to be out the back of the end zone for a touchback. Columbus will begin from the 40. I know, that stuff was on my end. I'm watching, so due to a softball game running long on ABC, the game is started on ESPN News. So until the softball ends, it'll be there. And then it'll be back to ABC. So I actually have all the ESPN main networks. Yeah, yeah, so I have 6-1 is the score. I have never seen that be the score for a football game. Cool. Morton in shotgun, the back to each side. Gonna play action and look to throw, rolling right. Pass right side, gonna be caught well past midfield and down to about the Birmingham 41 for Kiki Chisholm. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, that's a pretty damn good throw for Morton. Yeah, no, it's caught. Bit low, but hangs on to it. So Morton under center, back behind him, 2 receiving options to each side. They're going to give him the 40-yard line. Play action looking to throw. Plenty of time. Pass over the middle, going to be tipped and incomplete. Yeah, there's a reason I don't try to do exact score predictions for anything. Like during the predictions on Thursdays, I don't deal with the exact scores. Because in a league where you can go for a 3-point conversion attempt and you have stuff like a blocked extra point happening, there's no there's no sense of idea for a score in the game. Whereas the NFL, like you know the basis of what you're gonna get for each drive. Handoff up the middle on 2nd and 10, going to be met behind the line for a loss of about 2 for Zaquandre White. There was a penalty marker down. $10:09 to play in the first. Illegal formation against Columbus is the call. Going to push them back. We're not even 5 full minutes into this game, and there's already been chaos. Oh no, they declined it, so 3rd and 11. Yeah, it is off the rails already, and I'm here for it. Okay, so now they're saying 3rd and 13, whatever. 3rd and 13. 9:45 to play in the first. Ball on the Birmingham 43. Morton in shotgun, a back to his left, receiver in the backfield to his right. They need a 30-yard line to move the chains. Morton looking to throw, dump off left side is dropped. Looking for Tay Martin. Yeah, it's a little bit of a tonal shift between last week's game where that was more so on the, I won't say boring side. It was just a really good defensive game. This one's been nothing but chaos so far, and it's still in a defensive fashion. It's great. So 4th and 13, the offense is staying on the field once again. Back-to-back drives going forward on 4th down. In shotgun, back to his right, looking to throw is Jalen Morton. Pressure coming, dump off left side, is caught with space for Zaquandre White. Trying to cut inside, but going to be stood up at roughly the 36. Not going to be enough for the first. They turn it over on downs. They have a split screen now? Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, until the broadcast here officially says they're switching back over, I will stick to it. And we had 2 commercial break. Is that our first commercial break of this one? Okay, that's a... Alright, cool. It's supposed to be going to a commercial break, but it's still just stuck on the same heading to a commercial break screen. This is this is living up. Oh, now they're showing McCarron on the sideline. And highlights me. What is happening? Pretty sure that was supposed to be a lead into commercial break, but now they're just showing highlights. Yeah, okay. The chaos. They're trying to figure something out with this broadcast. Yeah, and that is great though. Like I like being able to see the behind the scenes stuff, but this was clearly not planned for the broadcast, and that makes it kind of funny. Because we've seen in the past, yeah, the NFL did a broadcast. I believe it was a Christmas game 2 years or so ago, where like the entire 4th quarter was done in a way where there was no commercials, and you can see all the behind the scenes stuff and whatnot with it, and that was really cool. As now we actually just get into a commercial. What's happened? And now we're properly at the commercial break. I love ESPN. All right, just getting back from commercial break, and now they're showing the same highlights they're showing briefly before. I'm more so just confused on how that softball game is running as long as it did. That's my thing with it, because like ABC has to, yeah, they had to have known something about it, but like they gave it a 2.5 hour broadcast time. I don't know. There might have been. I know it is taking place in Gainesville, so. Cool. OBS is loving me right now. 2nd and 2. DTR and shotgun looking to throw. Pass left side, going to be just off the mark and incomplete. Yeah, so it probably was a weather delay then. Which that makes sense, and that's fine. So 3rd and 2. DTR and shotgun back to his right. Going to look to throw. Flipping and going to take it himself up the middle. Enough for the first and get down to about the 48. Yo. DTR looking to throw in 2nd and 7. Rolling right. Pass off the mark and incomplete. Okay. I don't know what's happening with OBS. We should be good. There was a horse collar tackle on 2nd and 7 against Columbus that made it 1st down for Birmingham. Now a false start against the Stallions. Yeah. But we should be back. Yeah. Yeah, OBS is being weird. DTR and shotgun back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. Gonna look to throw in 1st and 15. Pass left side is off the mark and incomplete. Looking for Justin Ross. 2nd and 15 coming up. No, the game isn't paused. I'm gonna try and see if I can figure out a hot fix. That way it goes consistently. So now 2nd and 15. DTR and shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. And there's movement up front. Going to be another false start against the Stallions. Yeah, it's going to be against Deion Kane on the false start. Now a 2nd and 20 after back-to-back false starts. Part of it is, I think if DTR starts the season with the Stallions, they probably win an extra game or 2. Dump off left side of 2nd and 20, and there's space for about 7 or so there for Tyron Davis-Price. Like obviously there's room to improve for DTR and from DTR, but like they probably start the season at least 2-2 if he's there from week 1. All right, 3rd and 11 after the gain of 9. DTR and shotgun back to his left. Three receivers to the right. Man in motion, right to left. Now back to right. It's Jaden Mickens in motion. DTR looking to throw. Dump off over the middle. Going to be caught with some space. It's enough for the first. A gain of roughly 12. They move the chains. Dawood Davis on the grab. Well, welcome on in. Yeah. Again, I feel like a lot of the issues with the Stallions, especially early on, was just how much new was with the team. And we've seen throughout the season that they've gotten better, more comfortable. But the question is going to be, is it too late for a massive improvement? Handoff up the middle going to be enough for about 3 or 4 for Davis Price on the carry. $3.50 to play in the first quarter. Yeah, this score is prime spring football. In shotgun, back to his left, going to hand this off up the middle on 2nd and 5. And that's going to be Snoop Connor for a gain of roughly 2. What's even crazier is I would not be surprised if Columbus has not scored the rest of the game. Obviously, I expect them to, and they've been moving the ball decently well with Jalen Morton. But, like, it would also be really funny if they end with 1 point. 3 minutes to play in the first. In shotgun, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. To go 5 wide on 3rd and 3. Get the snap off in time as he looks to throw. Pass over the middle is caught by Dion Kane, and he walks it in untouched for 6. Stallions extend this to an 11, soon to be 12-point lead. They're on fire early in this one. With 2:45 to play in the first. Oh yeah, Birmingham's looking a ton better than last week. And that's a beautiful throw from DTR. Like, he has some great throws like that. And then he has throws like the first one of the game where it was a pretty bad decision and was intercepted. Like, he just needs to be more, he just needs to get consistent, especially with what he's seeing from the defense. Like, he has good arm talent, he has good mobility. It's just sometimes he doesn't see the field properly. And there's movement up front going to be against Columbus as they're trying to jump the snap once again. Neutral zone infraction against Columbus. Yeah. Yeah, it jumped early. Not much. I do find it funny that Birmingham went hard count on that, trying to know that they're going to jump. Now going to be a 28-yard kick for the extra point. Yeah, I'm liking these all gold uniforms more than I thought I was going to with the Stallions. Extra point is up and it is good. $2:45 to play in the first after a beautiful 10-play drive. We had to commercial break. Like, I'm liking these uniforms more than I thought I was going to. They're good alternate uniforms. They're not. They should have never been thought of as a primary uniform. And yeah, you did tell me about DC. I mean, I picked Orlando to win last night anyway. But like, man, there was a period of time in that game last night where DC looked still pretty good, but I don't know. Yeah, these gold uniforms are the perfect primary, perfect alternates. The maroon is always going to be the better primary. Yeah. Okay, like their offense has still like moved the ball decently well, arguably into field goal range both times. The fact that they didn't go for the field goal on their opening drive is still insane to me, and that's why we have a 13-1 game at this point. Well, Orlando is going to depend on on St. Louis tomorrow for Orlando. If St. Louis loses to Houston, like I kind of think they will, then Orlando clinches the 1 seed and they don't have to play hard next week. If St. Louis beats Houston, then they're still going to have to win. So we'll see. Yeah, either way, it should be a great game next week. And also, St. Louis plays Dallas on Friday next week before Orlando plays. So Orlando will know by their game start time next week if they actually need to play hard or not. Because if St. Louis loses one of the next two, Orlando has the 1 seed. So we'll see. Oh yeah, this past week it's been a storm in South Florida. It seems good now though. But I'll take it. I'll take the weather. Yep, inside the NBA commercials. I'm excited for a game. Was it game 3 tonight between the Cavs and Knicks? That should be a fun one. Yeah, that's true as well. So it's going to be a very interesting week 10, no matter what happens the rest of the week. Like I kind of prefer when it's cloudy out because being in South Florida, it can be a pain in the ass when the sun's blaring. But like, yeah, it's fine today. I went to get I went to get some pregame hot chicken and I accidentally ordered it to the wrong spot, so that was a fun time. Yeah, the Danhausen stuff. I have a friend who's a Knicks fan and also a wrestling fan, and he's not the biggest Danhausen guy because he's even during the AEW time. But it's been so fun seeing him kind of like turn face with Danhausen because of the curse on the Cavs. Yeah, I I know we're still like in the middle of hurricane season, so that's always something to keep in mind on for me. But seemingly we'll be fine. Kickoff was returned just past the 30 to about the 33. Be 1st and 10 coming up. Oh yeah. Stormy weather when you're inside and it's like somewhat late at night is great. During the day, nah. Toss left side for John Lovett, gonna get past the 40 to about the 41. That's how the drive will start with a gain of roughly 5. As the drive started from the 36. Second and 5, 2:15 to play in the first. Yeah. The run that the Knicks are on right now is fantastic to watch, and I think they have a legit chance to beat the Thunder. The Spurs will be a different story. Morton pass left side, going to be caught for the first, and then some brought down right around midfield. Hey, Martin on the grab. Maybe. Because I'm still not even sure if I'm gonna watch it again or not right now. Like I don't like. I like the idea of docu series like that, but And Hard Knocks has never excited me the way it definitely should, because you know how big of a fan I am with the behind the scenes stuff. Like Hard Knocks never excited me. I find this idea cool for the docu-series, but I don't know. Columbus gonna call their first timeout as they're having issues getting the play call in. Wait, so is it? Isn't it Monday? Yeah. But she Hey, if college game day is somehow in Orlando in the fall, I would be so down. I doubt it though. I don't have high expectations for UCF next year. Morton in shotgun back to his right, looking to throw in 1st and 10. Pressure coming, rolling left, will take it himself. Base pass to 45, going to be enough for the first, and eventually actually staying inbounds somehow along that sideline. Gonna get inside the 30, maybe around the 25. We'll see when he is marked out, but he's tiptoeing along that sideline for much longer than I thought he was going to. It looked like he was going out of bounds around the 40. That's impressive to stay in bounds like that. And no, he's in bounds all the way down to about the 20. Damn. Yeah. There's a 29-yard carry there for Jalen Morton, so we ball on the 21 of Birmingham. In shotgun, back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side. Man in motion, left to right. Going to look to throw once again. Pass right side, going to be low and incomplete. Looking for Tay Martin. Had a good window there to put it in. If it was higher, it's probably caught. One more play needed before the end of the first. So 2nd and 10. Morton in shotgun, back to his right, 2 receivers to each side. Gonna hand this off up the middle for John Lovett, and going to be brought down right around the 16. Gain of about 5. And that'll get us to the end of the first quarter. 15 minutes in the books. It is 13-1. Because sure, welcome to spring football. We're gonna head to a commercial break. Typically I would have a joke about comparing this score to like a different sport. But like, what would it be? Braves and Reds? Like even then, like 13 in baseball is impressive. Yeah, it's on ESPN News. That's where I'm watching it. So they have 1 point because after the Stallions scored on a backwards pass return for a touchdown, the Aviators blocked the extra point and returned it for a 1-point conversion. It's great. They're driving now, so it's gonna change, unfortunately, here soon. But yeah, it's the fact that they have 1 point through 1 quarter of play is fantastic. That is now gonna be on a box score. Yeah, I mean Florida has been flirting with that idea for years now, so we'll see. It's one of those things where I get it. It doesn't really phase me though. Cause like my sleep schedule is already a mess. So like giving me what would it be more sunlight is not gonna fix it. Anything will probably make it worse. Yep, at commercial break for the end of the first. I love how much attention the 1 point for Columbus is getting. Yeah, it's one of those things where like you realize it happens the day after it happened. Like, yeah, I understand the whole like moving clock specs, but like it doesn't like it used to be a thing where like it would be like, I wouldn't say be made like a party with it, but like it used to be a thing where like, oh yeah like it would be on your mind in like the weeks leading up to it. But now it's just like, okay, cool, I lost or gained an hour of sleep, whatever. So yeah, so leap year is confusing because it's not consistent with its own rules. Because leap year is typically every 4 years. But then I think I want to say it's every third leap year or every fourth where they don't do a leap year because they're trying to coincide with the rotation and all that. It's been a while since I've heard the explanation for it working, so I can't explain it the best. Yeah, but I'm also someone that doesn't mind when it gets dark earlier. Because again, like it kind of, I won't say it tricks me, but like it makes it so like I'm more conscious about getting better sleep. But at the end of the day, it makes me, instead of going to bed at 1 p.m. I go to bed at midnight. My sleep schedule is still not great. It's gonna, again, it gets better around like during the semesters, but now that it's the summer, it's a mess. All right, just coming back from commercial break. Jalen Morton in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. 3rd and 5, ball on the Stallion, 15-yard line. Morton pass left side, wide open with space. Inside the 5, and John Lovett is in. The Aviators are on the board despite having multiple drives into plus territory before this. It takes a 16-yard reception for John Lovett, and we're back to a 1-score game. Yeah, it's a completely different game from last week. But I'm here for, again, I expected it to be a different game from last week. It was not going to be the same defensive slugfest. There was going to be a bit more offense. I'm impartial. At least I like to say I'm impartial. Obviously, like, there's some teams where like I'm pulling for a tiny bit more, but for the most part, I just want to watch good football. Like all of like the actual root in and put in care into who wins, that's for the NFL with the fuck ass team you see behind me. Extra points up and good. Is I mean, like there's point like again, it's more so I root for players than anything. There's certain players I just want to see succeed. So depending on who does what. Columbus got a field goal in the second quarter last week, and that was the first score for a while. Yeah, and that's also part of it. It's like the Guardians, the Guardians left, they became the Orlando Guardians, and then after that, they're just not a team anymore. It's like part of me is waiting for the Guardians to be back. But at this point, I feel like even if they do return, I probably won't be like a massive like rooting interest in them. Because I've really have grown to love the more so impartial nature of the UFL the past few years. In part because of just how disappointed the Dolphins have been. Oh yeah, Columbus is a Big Ten team through and through. I mean, and I love it. It's like the last remnants of the old Big Ten West is found the Columbus Aviators, because why not? Kickoff going to be returned up to about the 8, return beginning from the 18, spaced out past the 35, out of bounds around the 41. Yeah. But like, it's going to be an interesting season next year for Miami because they have no expectations. It's a complete reset almost. It is a complete reset. Like, I'm just ready to be watching Dolphins football and not be like, yeah, and not have the mindset of a playoff win needs to happen this year. They need a lot of help, but it's a step 1 of like 30. Well, good morning. Oh yeah, I saw that because there's someone that normally covers the UFL that's at the San Antonio Toros game, I believe. Handoff up the middle and 1st and 10, going to be a gain of about 3. Yeah, so Red Tail, you just missed it because Columbus scored. For a while, the score was 6-1 in this game. It's been beautiful. Well, that's a funny thing. Like, yeah, I'm a massive Dolphins fan. I don't care much for their color scheme. Mainly because they don't use orange enough in their actual branding nowadays. DTR pass right side going to be incomplete. Looking for Justin Ross. The 3rd and 7 coming up. The game's on ESPN News while we await the end of University of Florida against Texas Tech for softball. Yeah, it was also 13-1. It scored. It's been something. Yeah. It's just bland. It's like so the rookie premiere was like a week or so ago. And there's 2 uniforms that stood out like a sore thumb during it. DTR pass right side going to be off the market incomplete with penalty markers down in the secondary. Going to be against Columbus. It'll be automatic first down for Birmingham. Like, Arizona's uniforms are terrible. I like seeing them next to all of the other uniforms in the league during the rookie premiere. They stick out like a sore thumb. Miami's is the next one where I'm like, damn, I kind of wish there was a bit more color to these than just the plain aqua. Oh well. Defensive pass interference against Columbus is the call. Being called against Michael Lawson. Well, again, I make sure that I'm set to live chat. That way I can see all of them. Then YouTube does like to hide shit. DTR and shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. 1st and 10. Looking to throw pressure. Come in and sacked. Back near their own 45. It's Kenny Willekes on the sack. And he's also a bit hobbled getting up as he got brought down kind of awkwardly on it. It's just pure bull rush there. And yeah, that's a pretty awkward looking sack all around, but hey, he got home. Kind of tripped him a bit. Kind of kicked the kind of a sweep of the legs almost for Willekes. Yeah. But again, Columbus was a team early on in the season that shot themselves in the foot so much. They should have a better record than they do. DTR passed over the middle on the tight end screen, and is a bit behind and incomplete. 3rd and 22 coming up. Yeah. I think part of that's delayed and also the fact that it's not on the most sturdy of surfaces, aka on my monitor, on my desk. So I like to rest my hands and my arms on my desk a bit, so slight movements cause it to shake and let's go out of focus. It's, yeah, deal with it. I don't have space to have like a proper stand or anything for it. DTR and shotgun, pass over the middle on 3rd and 22, going to be caught by Dawood Davis. Has space and down to the Columbus 45. Going to make it a more manageable 4th down. Still going to be a 4th and long, though, as they're going to have to go for it. Unless they trust Andres Carlson enough. Nope, and keep the offense on the field for 4th and 12. Oh, yeah, again, Columbus has shot themselves in the foot so much this season, it kind of hurts to watch. DTR alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Going to look to throw. They need a 33. Pressure coming. Pass deep over the middle. It's there for Justin Ross. It's incomplete, and there's a penalty. That's a tough one. DPI against Columbus. Cheney didn't let him go back to the ball. O'Donnell Fortune, who had the interception on the first play of the game, now called for the DPI. Will be 1st and 10 for Birmingham deep into Columbus territory. Again, shooting themselves in the foot. Yeah, it's clear as well, which is the thing that sucks about it. Yeah. Like it's a like 99% of that play is perfect, and then there's that 1% right at the end. So DTR under center, ball on the 9-yard line of Columbus, handoff up the middle, gonna fight his way inside the 5 and down to the 1 for Tyron Davis-Price. All right, 2nd and goal coming up. I don't know. I don't know softball rules and everything, or like game length. Like, I think it's 7th inning when the game ends, so, or like a 10-run rule. I don't know. It'll end when it ends. And no, he gets hit early on that. Handoff right side of 2nd and goal, and he is in with ease. Tyron Davis-Price, the Stallions extend this lead, and just realized I never properly changed the possession indicator for the Stallions. That's fun. Did I do it for Columbus properly? I don't think so. That's what it's supposed to be. With 10:37 to play in the first half, right back to an 11-point lead. I didn't for Columbus. Let me do that real quick. Well, again, I need to double check, but I think there was a weather delay. But I wouldn't be surprised. Extra point is up, and it is good. Yeah. I've never been a massive like energy drink or coffee person. More so just to wake up, I just simply like stand and like do a bit of action there, or just have like a Coke or something. That's my way of waking up. Or just listen to music. Sometimes it helps me get some energy in me. Like a I wouldn't say a fast-paced beat, because that doesn't necessarily mean, but like a strong beat for songs, and I'm up instantly. Yeah. Again, like Dorian Thompson, like Adrian McCarron said it himself when, like, after the game against Orlando, the last game for Matt Corral, it was just simply like they needed a spark in the offense, and they needed someone that better fit the offense. And that is Dorian Thompson Robinson, it seems. No, yeah. The go-to typically is like most rock songs can wake me up decently well, especially like Van Halen and AC/DC and that kind of stuff, or even like just I don't know. Recently because there hasn't been a lot of like newer music releasing that I care about. Baby Keem's Casino album has been my go-to for early morning drives during the week. That's been my go-to for a while now, and it's good. I mean, yeah, the scoring is a lot better than what it was last week. I kind of expected that, because you have such a little offensive performance last week. It's only natural that's going to be a bit better. I'll look into it. Yeah, Matt Corral was because the thing with Matt Corral is his style fits so much better with the previous regime in Birmingham. This new regime really relies on having mobility at quarterback, it seems, which is fair, but it calls for that very rough start. No, the UFL is already confirmed to be back next year. That's already confirmed. By them announcing OKC in 2028 as an expansion team, that makes it where they're guaranteed to last until after 2028. Because they wouldn't announce that if they were gonna fold in the offseason. Oh, there's Kenny Willekes being taken to the locker room, being carted off the sideline, that stuff. So kickoff underway, going to be returned beginning from the 5, space out past the 20, 25, past the 30, and a big hit at the 30. It's Alex Cook, who's been having himself a great game already in this one. So they'll start from there. No. The Rock and Danny Garcia still have their part ownerships in the league. So like they're still fully invested. It's just they added Mike Rapoli to also be a co-owner. And he's been the one more so in charge now. Like he's really taken it by the reins. But you know, Danny Garcia and The Rock are still have their stakes. Yeah, he's changed a lot. Most of it seemingly for the better, but I'm very curious on how he's going to handle this upcoming offseason. Morton going to keep it himself right side in the read option and going to lose about 2. The CFL is just different. And I do like the CFL. Like it has its moments of being a fun league to watch. It's just I'm pretty sure they only get like 1 game a week in the States, which is the tough part. Yeah, he's been very hands-on. Again, the idea is how is he gonna what's he gonna do in this upcoming offseason? That would be the biggest tell. I'm in the camp of keeping things the same for next year in terms of like locations and teams, but we'll see. Morton rolling right, passing right for 2nd and 12. Going to be off the mark and incomplete. Looking for Kiki Chisholm. 3rd and 12 coming up. $9:45 to play in the first half. Ten seconds remain on the play clock when they break the huddle. Jalen Morton in shotgun. Back to his left. 3 receiving options to the left. Ball on their own 29-yard line. Morton looking to throw. Has some time. Pass over the middle is going to be caught. Past the 45 to the 47. All right, there's something. Aesop Winston on the reception. His first of the season. And then put the Aviators near midfield. Yeah, it was a USFL and the XFL that combined. Handoff up the middle for 1st and 10. Going to bounce it out left side for Saquandre White. Going to get past midfield to about the Birmingham 47. The CFL has been going strong and has been its own thing for close to 40 years at this point, I want to say. Maybe longer. Yeah, I mean I kind of miss the Renegades, the Roughnecks branding as well, but it do also make sense to just go bring the Gamblers back from the previous USFL basically. Dump off right side for Toa, gonna get a gain of about 3 or so. 3rd and short coming up. The 2020 Roughnecks branding was perfect. The stuff they did when the XFL came back and in the UFL, I did not like. So like I'm fine with the current Gamblers stuff. I think it works better. Morton under center, back behind him on 3rd and 2. Hand off up the middle for Toa, and there's space. Past the 35 to 30 and finally brought down near the 27. Yeah. And the Roughnecks branding was damn near perfect for a while. Like yeah, when PJ Walker was there, and then those in the 2020 XFL was really like the best time for spring football. And they're still trying to get back to that same feel. They're getting close with some things, but for the most part, it's been a bit weird. Morton under center, gonna hand this off up the middle on 1st and 10. Gonna be a gain of about 5 or 6. All right, cool. So I would imagine then next commercial break is when they'll switch back over. Yeah. Yeah, PJ Walker was such a fun player to watch. Even when he was with the Carolina Panthers, PJ Walker was fun to watch. He retired a few weeks ago and ended off with a hell of a career. Yeah. COVID screwed a lot. Morton in shotgun for 2nd and 4. Has some time. Pass left side is caught inside the 5, and he is in. Gunner Oaks. And the Aviators, they're still sticking in this one. A 20-yard grab for the tight end. All right, this is going to be an interesting one. Last week was very defensive, and so far in this one, it's been the offenses. It's been the offenses on display. Yeah. So 6:23 to play in the half. And they're going to go for 2. Trying to make this a 4-point game. All right. In shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. Going to look to throw. Quick pass left side is going to be incomplete. Looking for Kiki Chisholm on the goal line fade. And they fail to convert. Columbus wants a penalty. Doesn't seem like anything is thrown. I just don't get that play call. To be fair, I've never been a massive fan of a goal line fade. But like, come on. Of all teams, Columbus to try and do it? Yeah, no. That's... No. I mean, we've seen this season that they can't get what they want most of the time. All right, so Joe Tessitore in the broadcast is talking right now like the game's back over on ABC. Let me see. ABC's on the commercial break, so not quite yet. Unless they just got back from commercial break. Looking at my phone just to be safe. Kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 5. Space out past the 20, 25, and brought down right around the 29. The ABC was a bit behind on that kickoff, but should be good to be back over there at least. Yeah, okay. It's back over on ABC at least. Yeah, it's been a crazy first half of action in this one. If you get 1 point. Yeah. I mean, a 6-point lead is not bad. Especially with how the offense has been playing. All right, DTR and shotgun going to dump this off over the middle. And that's going to be a gain of about 1 yard or 2. They're doing box in box. Or side-by-side boxes with highlights in the actual game happening, sure. I assume UF probably won that softball game, but again, yeah. I have family that are big UF fans for pretty much everything, so. In shotgun, back to his left. Gonna hand this off up the middle for Snoop Connor. Trying to bounce it out left side, has some space. Gonna get past the 35 and brought down right around the 39. So a 3rd and 1 coming up. Both defenses have had their moments in this game. And at the same time, the offenses have been on display as well. It's been an all-around good game. 5:15 to play in the first. DTR and shotgun back to his left, 3 receiving options to the right. 3rd and 1. Handoff up the middle, and there is a stoppage now. Penalty marker down for a false start. So a 3rd and 6 coming up. Yeah. Both defenses started off really hot. And they've had their moments here and there, but it's been the offenses for the most part. So 3rd and 6. DTR alone in shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Going to look to throw. With some time, passing deep left side, going to be a slightly underthrown and incomplete. So 4th and 6 coming up. Yeah. Was looking for Jabri Barber. Slightly underthrown, somewhat pressure in his face. Kendrick Whitehead breaks it up, and Birmingham will be the first team to punt in this game. All right. Yeah. And I appreciate everyone that's tuning into this. It's been a great game. Punt comes off clean. Going to be returned beginning from the 20. Gets out past the 25, past the 30, 35, and going to be out of bounds around the 40. Pretty solid return. Oh yeah, Isaiah Buggs was everywhere last night in the backfield. He had a fantastic game. Which, again, makes sense. Isaiah Buggs was on the NFL roster in the fall. He is a damn good player. So I'm not surprised that he's shining for Orlando. Yeah. And then that can happen sometimes when trying to find clips for videos. You can also go down random rabbit holes you weren't expecting to find some insane clips. Like for my video I did with the Cleveland Browns that came out a few months ago, I legit found highlights from 1940s football that I used in that video. It was great. Yep. Yep. And like during this time in San Antonio last year as well, like he's a damn good player. He just couldn't stick. I forget exactly which NFL team he was with in the fall, but he just couldn't stick. I think part of it was due to injury, because it took him a little bit to get back in with Orlando. As we're at commercial break, awaiting Columbus's next drive. Hell yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's that as well. But like when looking for video clips, like I always have an idea of what I want to find, but like you just never expect to find certain things because of just the nature of the NFL back in that day. So the fact that there is like legit clips of old Cleveland Browns games, like they're just clips from their first game in franchise history against the Miami Seahawks. I was able to use in that video. It's great. That blew my mind being able to find. Nice. Yeah, so during the old AA, what was it, AAFC? during like before the AFL, during the 40s, there was another football league called the AAFC, I believe, if I remember correctly. In that league is where the Cleveland Browns started, and their first game in franchise history was against the Miami Seahawks. The Miami Seahawks never, they did, then 3 teams made the jump to the NFL. The Seahawks weren't one of them. But yeah, it was something. And it was, I mentioned it in that video as well, but the score that the Browns beat the Miami Seahawks in that very first game in team history was pretty much the exact same score they lost to the Steelers in their return game in 1999. So it just, there's poeticness in the Cleveland Browns. Morton in shotgun, gonna hand this off, going right for Zaquandre White. Gonna have a gain of about 3 or 4. .75 air yards during pregame for Jalen Morton. In shotgun, looking to throw. Morton pass left side, going to be well off the mark and incomplete. 36 coming up. Yeah. It is also weird, but also funny to think of like someone else thought of the idea of Seahawks before Seattle got their team. Which it does kind of make sense for a Florida team as well, because Seahawks are not real animals. They're based off of ospreys, and University of North Florida, their mascot is the Ospreys. Like, there's kind of some connection there. But 3rd and 6. Morton in shotgun, and there's movement up front before the snap. Going to be a false start against Columbus. 3rd and 11 coming up. So like for a while, I had a video idea of trying to find every single Hail Mary in NFL history and see who truly like has completed the most. And through that process, I watched a bunch of like late 70s football games and clips. There's some penalties called during the 70s that even today look soft as hell. The football throughout its history have had some bad calls. We had to CG. Morton in shotgun, back to his right, 3 receiving options to the left. 3rd and 11, looking to throw. Dump off left side, going to be caught by Aesop Winston. Caught it on one knee, and it'll be back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. So 4th and 11 coming up. Yeah. Hey, there's a ton of great clips from that era as well. But at the same time, it's like, I'm pretty sure it was a Craig Morton clip of a roughing the passer penalty against him. Like, someone sacked him for a roughing the passer penalty, and it was something that, if it was called today, would be called soft. And like it's just throughout all of time, there's been some bad penalties. All right, 4th and 11, and we reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in the first half. And Columbus without their punter in this one. So out comes Jonah Dalmas, it seems, to be the punter in this one. It'll be 4th and 11. Yeah, Columbus is about to punt this one away. Yeah, alliteration is always going to be better for everything, and that's why a lot of comic books use alliteration for character names, because it sounds better. I say a lot. It's more so Marvel Comics uses alliteration a lot. Yeah. And it's just a good excuse to go back and watch all of it. Bet. Yeah, we're at the 2-minute warning commercial break. Oh yeah, alliteration is always one of those things where it just sounds good off the tongue. But also, like, at this point, certain things certain team names just sound right because they've been named that way for decades at this point. It's part of the reason why, like, anything that Washington could change to now again It's not going to sound right because it'd be something brand new, and change takes a while to stick. We've had one blocked punt this season, so I doubt they'll block it. But I mean, they definitely could get a good return out of it. And either way, they have all 3 timeouts, plenty of time to get into field goal range at the very least. So this should be good. Yeah, I'm just like, what is? To be fair, I'm not a massive Chick-fil-A fan to begin with, so yeah. But at this point, I don't see them ever going back to that name. Like, but there's other options they can do that sound better than the Commanders. Andres Carlson is not great, but like he's solid. He can hit from pretty good distance. During his time with the Packers, during his one NFL season, he was pretty solid for them, all things considered. Yeah. I should be getting out of commercial break here soon. Oh, that's a Wednesday thing? Yeah, no, I probably won't be watching it. It also interferes with the playoffs. That's okay. Interesting choice. All right, punt comes off clean. It's a pretty good one. Going to be returned beginning from the 15. Base out past the 20. Out of bounds at the 23. So Birmingham will start from there. Yeah, defense is the backbone, but again, the offense is finding its rhythm. Yeah, though I've yet to have a mistake with Dave's Hot Chicken, and that's been my go-to for chicken sandwiches the past 3 years at this point. So I'm always going to be recommending that if it's in the area. Handoff up the middle on 1st and 10, going to be a gain of 2. Yeah. I mean, he was able to get the sideline a bit on that punt return. For the Mendoza. Columbus calls their second timeout. Yeah, that too. But again, I've never been a massive Chick-fil-A person because it was never really in the area either for me growing up. But yeah, if it's in the area, definitely go. I love it. It has been my go-to pregame meal for like Dolphins games and other stuff for years now at this point. DTR and shotgun looking to throw in 2nd and 8. Pass right side wide open is Jaden Mickens with space. Pass midfield and out of bounds around the 47 of Columbus. Birmingham approaching field goal range with 1:34 to play in the half. They're in most places, but yeah, definitely check. Yeah. And they marked him at the 49. That's a bit strict on the spot. Okay. DTR and shotgun looking to throw. Rolling right to dump off over the middle for Tyron Davis Price. We'll have enough space for a 1st and more. Bouncing off defenders, getting down to about the 31 of Columbus. That is pretty much field goal range now. Popeyes is pretty good. My only thing with Popeyes is even like their spicy chicken sandwiches aren't that spicy. And I've gotten to the point where if I'm gonna have a chicken sandwich or like anything like fried chicken, I'm gonna want it to be a bit spicy. In shotgun pass to the left, going to be a gain of about 6 for Dawood Davis. And Birmingham will seemingly call their first timeout. Yep. Yeah. And I threw, so before Dave, because it took a while for Dave's to get opened up in South Florida. Before that, there was another local hot chicken place that was really good that we would get before Dolphin games. Then I got up to Central Florida, and that's when I had Dave's for the first time. And it just, I haven't looked back since. It's, again, not sponsored, though. Would be great one day, but it's damn good. Second and 4 coming up. Ball on the Columbus 25-yard line. 1:06 to play in the half. In shotgun, back to his right. 2 receivers to each side. Going to look to throw once again. With some time, stepping up. Pass over the middle. Can be caught by an open Deion Kane. Gets inside the 20 and brought down at the 19. The clock will briefly stop with 58 seconds to play in the half. Yeah, Columbus is going with that, prevent defense to a degree, and I'm not a fan of it. In shotgun, back to his left, gonna hand this off up the middle for Snoop Connor. Gonna get a gain of roughly 2. 45 seconds to play in the half, and a timeout will be called. The second for the Stallions. Yeah. It was just a QB that didn't fit the style. And we've seen Louisville to a degree also kind of turn that page due to a better quarterback fit. With Chandler Rogers being under center now. Though that's less quarterback fit and more so just more consistent play. Second and 8. St. Louis had like 3 different attempts at it. $7 p.m. start time for you. Okay. DTR in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Ball on the 17. DTR pump fakes, pass right side, gonna be incomplete. Looking for a back shoulder to Justin Ross. 3rd and 8 coming up. Yeah, well, it's less. It's been less bend, don't break on this drive, and more so just prevent. Which again, prevent is, I don't like prevent defense. For late half situations, it doesn't work because you give up too much stuff over the underneath. Yeah. In shotgun, back to his left, 3 receivers to the right. Man in motion on that right side. And there's going to be a stoppage. Birmingham calls their final timeout, whereas the play clock was about to hit 0. For 3rd and 8. The key thing is just don't turn the ball over, and you're probably going to get points before half. Columbus does get ball to begin the second half, so there's that. Yeah, throughout the season, we have seen Adrian McCarron. We've seen a lot of the first-time head coaches find a rhythm throughout the season and kind of like find their voice almost. Adrian McCarron is one, Chris Redmond's the other. Ricky Prohl in St. Louis has been doing a great job as well. Oh yeah, early on in this season, the talk around Birmingham was something else. 3rd and 8, DTR and shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. DTR going to look to throw. Pressure coming quick, rolling to his right to buy some time. Will take it himself, has enough for the first. Inside the 5, bouncing off defenders and down to the 1. They go quick, first and goal, 33 seconds of play in the half. They're going hurry up. DTR under center, and they're going to spike it with 32 seconds to play in the half. Again, DTR's mobility has been a difference maker for the Stallions. He shows it every week. It's been great. So second and goal. In shotgun, back to his left. Going to look to throw, pass left side is tipped at the line and incomplete. Trying a quick hitter that just got blown up instantly. Yeah. And that's been the case with some of the interceptions we've seen from DTR this year, as that ball was off of his lineman's back. But then a few others have just been, poor decision making. DTR in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left, looking to throw once again. Pressure coming, rolling left, trying to escape, breaks off one would-be sack, and just gonna loft this one. Gets tipped back in bounds. Well, okay, what's being said here? Because 1 was DTR out of bounds, 2 was the defender out of bounds, 3 was the receivers out of bounds. So he avoids that, slips. He gets the throw off in time. That gets ruled incomplete really early on. Tony Fields, I think he does tip it back in bounds though. I'm not sure if he was down before then. But again, I probably one of the people trying to catch it afterwards probably was out of bounds. So it's 4th and goal. Out comes the field goal unit. And now they're going to take another look at it. So Mike Beer is saying they already took another look at it. As A.J. McCarron attempted to throw the challenge flag. But they also don't have any timeouts to challenge something, so. Yeah, so they are taking a look at it. Yeah, it's going to be about if Tony Fields is out of bounds while touching the ball. And they're going to say he was. So yeah, so the field goal try from 19 yards out is up and good. It's a 9-point lead for the Stallions with 15 seconds to play. Yeah, hey, it's points before half. It does still keep it a 1-score game though, so Columbus is very much in this. So 15 seconds to play. All right. Yeah. Again, taking the points matters. Which is why it made no sense why Columbus didn't do it earlier in the game, but whatever. All right, 15 seconds. Carlson on to send this one down. The Aviators get ball to begin the second half. So They're in a fine point. Depending on the return, they might be able to do something with this. Kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 3. Base past the 20, past the 25. Spins his way past the 30 and down to the 33. Penalty marker is also down. Yeah, but at the same time, I kind of get it. It wasn't my first choice though for a team in Columbus. Yeah, I don't hate the Aviators Brandon. It just wasn't my first thought. Wasn't my first instinct. That's all it is. All right, so 10 seconds. Penalty was on Columbus on the return. So I imagine just gonna kneel this one to halftime. Yeah, I feel that. Like also, so to be fair, most of my first instincts with a Brandon for Columbus was more so Brandon for Canton. As there's the kneel down, we'll head to halftime. All right, we're just getting to halftime. I'll quickly be right back. All right, at halftime. Yep. The cupcake schedule. The cupcake schedule claims work for is always a thing in the playoffs. It's always funny. Few teams though are actually proven to have had an easy schedule for a championship in terms of playoffs. Like the Denver Nuggets, when they won a championship, they went against 40 plus win teams. They have yet to win a playoff series against a team that has won 50 plus games during the regular season. Yeah, it's just funny how people try to discredit stuff because like it's still impressive to be able to win it all like that. We're at halftime. Yeah, and that too is like schedules are made years. Playoff schedules aren't obviously, but regular season schedules are made. Yeah, we know majority of the opponents NFL teams are going to be playing for the rest of the NFL history because as they're constantly on a rotation between divisions they play. The only thing we don't know is like the extra games. But like we really know is like you could look up right now a team's opponents for 2032 and you'll get 95% of their opponents. Because we just know what the rotation is. Now, obviously, things might change due to extra games being added, expansion, which is unlikely, but there's reasons why it could slightly change. But for the most part, you know exactly who they're playing. Yeah. We're at the first of 2 commercial breaks for halftime. Yeah, but but a lot of people don't actually watch games when they're making claims like that. In terms of like if a game's close or not, they only look at the box scores or look at the results. Like they would see a sweep of a team and not be like, oh wait, there was actually 4 really tight games being played there. Yep, at halftime. Yeah, but still, like most people are service level for stuff. All right, all good. There's another showing the trailer once again for the docu-series that the UFL produced for this year. It sucks that it's releasing on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. because that's also the same exact time of Game 5 between the Cavs and the Knicks. So, like, if that series goes 5, I doubt a lot of people can actually watch it. Yeah, and that happens as well all the time. Yep, at halftime. I do wish that the teams got to their home cities a bit sooner in the week, but I also get why, they keep to stay in Arlington for as long as they do. I think along with the ESPN2 stuff with this, I think it would make sense if this docu-series also goes like same time with a YouTube upload. Or like it's uploaded a later date on YouTube because that's probably where most people are gonna find it. Again, in part because of just conflicts with the NBA playoffs. Oh yeah. It was the same thing with like the early 2010 or even just the 2010s LeBron stuff. Like he was just insane during those years. Like he's still fun to watch, but he's just not as dominant as what he was in his prime. True as well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was so fun to watch back in that day. I have a Heat LeBron jersey and somewhere over there off to the side. I haven't had to use it yet. Yeah. Which we're getting closer and closer to the NBA and NHL draft. I've been going back and forth on if I wanted to go live with the NBA draft. We'll see. It's somewhat tempting. I'll need to double check to make sure that OBS works with what I'd have to do for it. Yep, at commercial break. Yeah. Those 90s NBA highlights and games was fun to look back on. Because the game was just so different back then. And what the defense was able to do and what they were allowed to do. Like everything was just different back then. It's like the same it's just basketball is just not the same sport from the 90s to what it is now. There's been so much change and so much like I want to say roster turnover, roster obviously, but there's been so much is different between the two eras. Like it's tough to compare. Yeah, but like for the NFL, like yeah, there's some things that are different, but for the most part, if you go back and watch a game from 20, 25 years ago, you're gonna get a very similar feel to a game nowadays. But for basketball, it's complete like because there's so much differences between offensive style in basketball, defensive aggressiveness, not aggressiveness, but what defense is allowed to do. Yeah, we're still at halftime. Oh well, yeah. I do like that he's changing up how he's announcing the fan events because that's perfect for me. All of it being announced in one fell swoop would be able for me to plan it a bit better. Yeah. And the 49ers have potential for next year. It should be curious. It should be fun to see how they're able to do. The second half should be on the way here soon. Yep, at the start of the second half. Going over the highlights from the first half right now. Yeah, it's been a solid first half of action. Can you continue? Yeah, though, like the entire NFC, entire 3/4 of the NFC West should be as competitive as they were last year. I expect the NFC South to be better and to be competitive as well. That's probably my division to watch. I just there's something about the NFC South. I just feel like that Magic's gonna strike that division this year. The North is always competitive. The East is the East, and then who knows how the AFC is gonna be this year. I'm fully expecting the Chiefs to be back in some degree. But the Columbus Aviators will get the ball first to begin the second half. Teams are taking the field as the kickoff is going to be underway here soon. The Titans are one of those teams next year where their ceiling is going to be like a massive surprise teams that just comes out of nowhere and is really competitive. Their floor is going to be a team that's fighting for a playoff spot, it feels. Like, I feel pretty good about the Titans. I just don't know exactly what Titans we're going to get. All right. Aviators set to return. Andres Carlson on for to send this one down. And second half kick is underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 3. Space out past the 25, past the 30, and down to about the 31. Oh yeah, he's gonna find his way to get his arc through regardless. But like, I'm just talking about in general with the Titans this year. Like, Kyle Shanahan has been such a good coach over there. I just don't think he can get over the hump. Like, he's had too many chances and has failed each time. Even when he was an offensive coordinator. In shotgun, gonna hand this off up the middle for Toa Tower. That's a gain of about 2. Like, again, Kyle Shanahan's a great coach. He does wonders over there, but I don't think he can get over the hump. But to be fair, that was a lot of the same things that were said about his father. So we'll see. All it takes is 1 year to find that magic. What's up, T-Fox? Morton in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. Gonna hand this off, going right for Saquandre White. Has some space past the 35 and gonna be stood up right around the 37. Like, a lot of what's said about Kyle Shanahan were similar things to what was said about Mike Shanahan until he won his 2 rings in Denver. So who knows? Nice. Well, what would be the next game in the Kingdom Hearts shit? Morton in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Ball on their own 39, going to look to throw. Pass right side, caught by Kiki Chisholm, going to be brought down right around the 45. Birth by sleep, okay. Okay. Yeah, a lot of it's just waiting, because like, the 49ers have talent aplenty on their roster. So like, they're always going to be competitive. It's just all the other, like, health is an issue, actual performing when the lights are the brightest has been something. It's all just a we'll see moment. Yeah. In shotgun, back to his right, gonna hand this off up the middle. Quandre White trying to bounce it out left side. Penalty marker down as White gets a gain of about 2. There's penalties in the backfield, one in the secondary, kind of, but I think they're all going to be on the same thing, which is holding against Columbus. That's a guaranteed on there. Holding against Columbus is the call. Going to push him back 10. That was cleared. Yeah, it's a clear hold against Tay Martin. There's no doubt about it. In shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Going to look to throw in 1st and 20. Morton with some time, stepping up, rolling left. Passing left side, going to be dropped. Would have been a gain of roughly 8 or so. Instead, it's a 2nd and 20 coming up. Was looking for Cam McDonald. Yeah. Miami plays San Francisco week 2, and that should be a game. I don't have a lot of expectations for it. So 2nd and 20, in shotgun, back to his left, 3 receivers to the right. Gonna hand this off up the middle, and that's space for about 6 or 7, but not much else. Quandre White on the carry. So 3rd and 13. Jalen Morton in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Man in motion, left to right, back to left is Tay Martin in motion. As Morton looks to throw. With some time, pass dump off left side for Quandre White. Gonna spin his way down to the 48-yard line of Columbus. Not enough for the first. So the Aviators will punt to begin the second half. Rough way to begin. So 4th and 7. Oh yeah? Punt comes off clean. Gonna be fair caught at about the 8-yard line. A great punt for Columbus. No, Tua is over in Atlanta now. Miami released him earlier in the offseason. He signed a 1-year deal with the Falcons. So he will be competing with Michael Penix for that QB job. Which that should be something for the offseason, but I have no expectations for that. I expect both to play next year. That could be interesting. I am curious how much Rodgers coming back is going to impact things. Rodgers coming back for 1 more year, in which Rodgers himself confirmed, he said that this is his last stride. He's done after this year, so we know that it's a retirement tour. But the fact that Rodgers is still going is insane to me. Once Tua retires, I see him kind of being unheard of for a while, because he's already not someone that's big with social media or with media in general. So I don't think he's gonna be up. I don't think he's gonna be willing or wanting to do TV or anything like that. Which fair. There's a ton of other players that are the same way, but obviously time will tell with it. But I just don't think that's his style. I believe he'll be entering his age 44 season, which is still which is insane either way. If it's 43 or 44. But like that playoff game against Houston, I just don't like that to me and a lot of people was the clear sign that he doesn't have it anymore. And he's only him can see it. It would be cool to see them like change the stadium name to something that's more aligned with the Aviators, but I also do like the idea of Historic Cruise Stadium being a name. It just feels good. Yeah, yeah. Which now that makes the Steelers' schedule a bit more interesting. Just because again, like he doesn't have it to the same degree, but they have a team around him where he should be able to succeed. The question is just to what degree. Oh yeah, Tua's set for life. That's part of the reason why I don't see him wanting to do a lot of media or being a part of media once he retires. He has the contract, he has all the commercial money and everything else. All the memorabilia money that he even got from me. I have a signed Tua football that's being blocked right now by the scoreboard. Yeah. The timeline where Rodgers admits defeat after he tore his Achilles would be something. Ball on their own 9-yard line was just coming back from commercial break. DTR and shotgun back to his right. In a play action, he looked to throw. Pass right side's a bit too far inside and incomplete. Looking for Justin Ross. 2nd and 10 coming up. Dude, I don't know what's going on with the Giants in general right now. Not to mention all that other stuff. Whatever. I don't care enough. The Giants next year are a wild card no matter what. Handoff up the middle, going to be a gain of about 3 or 4. So a 3rd and roughly 6 coming up. Tyron Davis Price on the carry. So 3rd and 6. 9:35 to play in the 3rd. In shotgun, back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Going to look to throw. DTR pressure coming and sacked. Back at the 4-yard line. This Columbus defense stands tall. Ron Stone Jr., one of 3 aviators into the backfield. And the Stallions go 3 and out and will have to punt. They're punting from deep in their own end zone here. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, from deep in his own end zone. Columbus should have pretty good starting field position here. And there's a stoppage before the snap as the play clock was winding down. It's a delay of game against the Stallions. Half the distance to the goal, ball now on their own 2-yard line. If I'm Columbus, I am sending 10 players straight at the punter. Like, don't worry about a return at this point. Just try to block this. Yeah, and then they're lining up to send 10. Punt comes off clean. So the blocking up front did a good job. Return beginning from the 40 and has some space. Gets past midfield and brought down at the 49-yard line of Birmingham. All right. So good starting field position. Not bad. So 1st and 10. Morton in shotgun back to his right. 2 receivers to each side looking to throw. Has some time. Trying to step up. Gonna get a few on this. A gain of roughly 4. Yeah, for the situation, it's a great pun. You're playing Tech Mobile. That's great. 2nd and 6 coming up. In shotgun, back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. 2nd and 6. Handoff up the middle. It's John Lovett being stood up at the line for no gain. Yeah. Yeah, true. 3rd and 5. They ruled it a gain of 1. 7 minutes to play in the third. Morton in shotgun, a back to each side. Going to look to throw. With some time, pass right side off the market incomplete. Had an open Tay Martin, but just couldn't connect. It is somewhat Titans. It is Titans adjacent. It's not bad. So we saw alternates be unveiled for Orlando and now Birmingham. I'm curious if next year we're gonna see 2 more teams get alternate uniforms, and then they're gonna start on slowly unveiling those throughout the years. Morton in shotgun for 4th and 5. Has some time. Pass over the middle is a lofter and it's caught. Inside the 25 to the 24 is Kiki Chisholm going up for it. And they keep the drive alive. That's just having faith in your guy. That's an impressive catch. Under center, Morton play action looking to throw. Rolling left, buying some time, will take it himself. Inside the 20 and out of bounds at about the 15. Takes a hit along the sideline as well. Penalty marker is down. This might be coming back. It's holding against Columbus, so 1st and 20 coming up. Obviously, I'm young to have actually played Tech Mobile on proper hardware, but at least a version of Tech Mobile was on like the Switch Online stuff, so I played it through there, and yeah, I get the appeal considering like the era it released. I had some fun moments with it. So 1st and 20, Morton alone in shotgun. Now motioning someone into the backfield to his left. 3 receiving options to the left, to the right. Morton going to look to throw. Has some time. Rolling left, trying to get the sideline. Now a lofter for John Lovett is bobbled and caught. Inside the 10, the 5, and untouched is John Lovett. The Aviators are within 3. Okay. A 34-yard catch and run for John Lovett. And this game is heating up some more. All right, their offensive line is playing damn well. And Jalen Morton is helping them out as well due to his mobility. Great catch for John Lovett through bobbling it for a running back to keep the concentration like it while it's still moving down the field. So 5:16 to play in the third. And they're just going to go for the extra point here. Jonah Dalmas on for the extra point. And there's movement up front. It's delay of game against Birmingham. Okay. Yep. When the pocket starts to collapse and the quarterback scrambles, you see a lot of defenses start to crumble in the back end. Because you can only cover for so long. The extra point is up and good. 2-point game. The delay of game made it an easy 28-yard extra point, and we had 2 commercial break in a 2-point game from Columbus. All right. This game is leagues better than what last week's was. Yeah. And the entire season, the Birmingham secondary has been rough. So they really need to start trying to contain Jalen Morton a bit. Yeah. It's I don't know, it's I feel like a good handful of people that are doing that are doing it as a joke at this point. But there's obviously still a few people that do truly believe the league is scripted. And it's just funny. It's like there's just too many moving parts to be able to do it consistently and have it not leak out well before. With better starting field position on this drive compared to their first, I think we'll see them have a bit of a pep to them. That as well. That as well. That is also part of it. Oh, another trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu. I've heard mixed things about this movie. I kind of don't fully care. Once it goes to like Disney Plus, I might watch it, but oh yeah, no, start. That's the case with a lot of different like shows or like skit series where there's just a few episodes where it's terrible to start at, but people find their way there anyway. I saw that Lesnar's back. I'm just confused. Like it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a decision that makes sense. And also like with Lesnar putting up the X during Mania and everything, I don't know, just him coming back doesn't feel right. I feel like it was the way he, like his retirement there, getting Oba over, everything was just perfect to usher in the next generation, and they're just messing with it. I don't know what their plan is. Yeah. Like I like a lot of Star Wars media. It's just the movies have never excited me the same way that like some of the video games have and the shows to a degree. Like I recently got a physical copy of The Force Unleashed, the first one. Now I have both of those games physically for PS3. I'm gonna be going back through those at some point and 100% in them. Yeah, there's a ton of Star Wars nods in them. Kickoff underway, going to be returned beginning from the 4. Base past the 15, trying to get towards that left side, past the 20, 25, past the 30. Cuts back inside, past the 35, and out of bounds at about the 36. Yeah. Maybe. But there's also the fact that leading into WrestleMania, pretty much everyone had the idea that he's gonna officially retire at SummerSlam since it's in Minnesota, where his hometown and all that. So I think part of it is they still want that to be what happens, but they wanted Mania to have a meeting or I don't know. It's weird. Quick pass left side, going to be a gain of roughly 5 for Deon Kane on the reception. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if part of the idea is oh, like, there's a large casual fan base that pretty much only watches Mania. Let's have this be a pseudo retirement for Lesnar, so that way the casual audience has this interaction with it, and then we bring him back softly for everyone. I don't know. It's, to be fair, a lot of WWE writing nowadays seemingly is just not great. So who knows? Handoff up the middle, going to be a gain of roughly 2. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Lesnar is like during his prime, Lesnar was a fun watch, but like his time is his time is done. He doesn't do like, he pretty much only shows up for brief promo stuff and then the occasional like big time match. But besides that, like, he's barely in the business anymore. Handoff up the middle for Snoop Conner, and there's a lane up past the 40-35 and finally brought down near the Columbus 29-yard line. Snoop Conner on the big carry puts the Stallions deep into Columbus territory as they look to extend this lead. Great blocking up front as well. There was a report not long ago that WWE looks towards AI to help with their story writing. I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing now at this point? I'm not even a massive WWE fan, but I'm just like, make it make sense. Handoff up the middle for Tyron Davis Price will be stuffed at the line. Maybe to give him a yard, half a yard. We'll see what the spot is. Yeah, it's some WWE right now is in a mess of a space. Just under 3 minutes to play in the third. 2nd and 9 coming up. DTR and shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the left as well. Going to look to throw. Dump off left side for Davis Price. Can't get a block, but gonna lower the shoulder and break through for about a yard or so. I don't watch a lot of like standard TV because most of what's like on TV nowadays doesn't excite me excite me. So like I watch all the games and everything, but in terms of like most standard TV, I prefer just, most other things that can be found on YouTube. DTR alone in shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, going to look to throw. Pass left side will be caught for a gain of only about 2. The drive stalls out into Columbus territories, a 4th and about 6 coming up. Yeah, the WWE storylines just it's tough for me to say they're trying too much because they're not. But like they're trying to do too much within a storyline to where it loses the point of the storyline and then just kind of becomes something else that doesn't make sense. Like the whole thing with Mania for like the McAfee and Jelly Roll stuff. Like they clearly had an idea for it and then they changed it for some reason. 43-yard kick is up and it is right down the middle. Yeah. Like, and then so a lot of with the WWE and like the AI stuff and like the celebrity interference and all that, that's pointed back towards like the higher ups at TKO. But like when WWE is allowed to just properly do their work, they can make some really fun storylines still. It's just those are way too far and few between. Whereas like, what's the point? And a minute 23 to play in the third. Yeah, like majority of people don't care for AI. And it's just yeah, that's the big point of it. Was like the Randy and Cody stuff could have been so much better. But at the same point, the Roman and Punk stuff was great. Like that was a legit fun match to watch at Mania, and the lead up to it was solid. But like most of the other but like they completely dropped the ball with the other stuff. Yeah. I will say at first the El Grande Americano stuff did not catch my interest. They've been doing it fantastically in AAA. Like they're working wonders with it down there, and it's legit massive now. So it's gonna be fun to see their match in what, next week, is it? At the AAA big event. Kickoff is returned up to about the 25, maybe the 30. It's same with the Nvidia people and all that. I will give Microsoft credit for this. They seemingly are allowing Xbox to not put their Copilot stuff in the Xbox. The initial plan was for Copilot to be a massive feature of the next Xbox. That seemingly is going to be doing away with, which I'll give them credit for that. They're making the right move there, but still. It's still weird that was even in the plans in the first place. Morton and shotgun, a back to each side, going to look to throw. Balmore on the 23. Pass left side is tipped, but still caught for the first. Pass at 35 to about the 36. Aesop Winston on the grab. A minute to play in the third and counting. About two more plays needed before the end of the quarter. Morton and shotgun back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Gonna hand this off up the middle, and there's some space for a gain of about 5. Or I believe that's Saquandre White on the carry. Yeah, to them it's a free money button. And it sucks even more because like the CEOs and shareholders have this very single-minded idea of what AI can do, and that is just do everything when it needs to be very specialized, and they just don't get that. And we're seeing it with some other studios right now. Morton in shotgun looking to throw in 2nd and 4, the final play of the quarter. Pass right side is incomplete, batted away, a great dive and pass breakup. We'll get to see the end of the third. Is Lucas Dennis on the pass breakup, and there's 15 remaining in this one. 15 minutes to play. A 5-point game, a much better matchup compared to what last week was. And I find it funny how even with having 1 point to begin the game, Columbus has still have a pretty standard score for a football team. Yeah. And try to force it, it's just it doesn't work. There's a few things releasing in the next few years that are going to be massive tests to see it. The big thing is, for people that play video games and all that, there was a game that released a few years ago called Lies of P, which is a brilliant art style and is a very fun retelling of the Pinocchio story in a unique way. They're currently working on a sequel to that game, and that studio recently put out a job listing for an AI artist to work on concept art for the sequel. That's getting massive backlash right now, which we'll see like exactly to what degree it's gonna. The backlash is gonna change things, and 2, kind of what their mindset is for that role. But the fact that it's even an option right now, not the greatest of signs. But the next few years are gonna be like the test for what studios can get away with. But even then, I'm just like, man, I'm gonna try my best to avoid a lot of the stuff that uses it because no. Yeah, it's integrating everything, and there is a clear line for most people of like the generative stuff that is terrible, and the stuff that legit makes things simpler for certain jobs and certain careers. But like most shareholders don't see that line and just think of AI as this big massive general thing. that is why we're in the situation we're in now. But like, if you have, I was about to say 50 pages, being a bit hyperbolic, but if you have 10 plus pages of code that you need to sift through, trying to find a small bug in it, you're probably not going to be able to point it out. But there's ways to be able to, there's tools to be able to sift through it easier, and those are like the benefit one. Yeah, that too. Yeah. Yeah, no, like, it's always with a grain of salt for everything that's it's used for. Like there are legit use cases where there is a small benefit to it, but a lot of those use cases is just, oh, we have 100 pages of data for a stat project this company is working on. Let's just take a little bit of an easier route to be able to sift through it, and then we still humanly apply what we need to with that sifted through data. Morton is shotgun for 3rd and 4. With some time, rolling right will take it himself. Has enough for the first. Past midfield and out of bounds right around the 47. Yeah. Okay, so again, I've been doing statistics stuff with for my major, so I'm learning a lot about like the the certain use cases is for it. But like most people are not gonna have that same knowledge. Yeah, and there's all the different language models and different ways things are tested with it. It's all, yeah. Morton play action looking to throw in 1st and 10. Has some time, pass over the middle is off the mark and incomplete. Had a wide open Tay Martin, but they couldn't connect. Oh yeah, yeah. There's a reason this discussion is massive right now, because like, you can just go on for hours with it. If everyone can. Morton was chipped a bit while throwing that, forcing the well behind pass. Yeah. Or again, like those videos of people like pointing out the very funny and clear errors with it. Like it's not in a spot where it can be 100% reliable, and it will never be 100% reliable because that's not the nature of things. Handoff right side for Squandre White, going to be a gain of roughly 6 or so. As there's some shouting going on along that Columbus sideline. Yeah. But at the same time, like it's also at a point right now where you can only learn as much as it's as much as what's on the internet. Which will probably just be the case for it for a while. Or pretty much forever. 3rd and 3, ball on the Birmingham 40. They're roughly at field goal range for Jonah Dalmas. Morton in shotgun back to his left, looking to throw. Pressure coming quick. Pass over the middle is tipped and intercepted. Return past midfield. Past the 40 and out of bounds around the 30 of Columbus. The Birmingham defense stands tall thanks to Ryan Cooper. It's the second forced turnover of the game, and the Stallions are in business to extend this lead. Had a wide open Tay Martin. No, it's Aesop Winston. He just couldn't corral it. Goes off his fingertips, and Cooper brings it the other way. That's massive for that defense. 13-10 to play in the game. A field goal will still keep this at a 1-possession lead, but a touchdown could bring it to a 2-possession game. Then they'll be talking. DTR handoff up the middle for Snoop Connor, going to be a gain of roughly 4. So 2nd and 6 coming up. DTR and shotgun back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Man in motion left to right. Gonna hand this off up the middle for Snoop Connor. And that's Tony Fields in the backfield for a loss of 2. Yeah, that's a big time play for the Stallions. Again, like they're in a spot. As long as they don't turn it over, knocking on wood, they're in a spot to be able to get points out of this, which is all that really matters right now. Yeah, but again, the average person doesn't understand the differences, and that's the part that needs to be taught more. DTR pass left side, going back shoulder for Deon Cain. It's knocked away and incomplete by DJ Miller. So the drive stalls out. There's a 3 and out for the Stallions after the interception. Out comes Andres Carlson to look to make this an 8-point game early on in the 4th quarter. It's like Deon Cain's the correct guy to go towards there. He has a step, but that ball needs to be towards the end zone, not back shoulder. If that ball's towards the end zone and you allow Deon Cain to run underneath it, there's no one really near him. That too as well, yeah. 46-yard kick is up, and it is right down the middle. 11:15 to play. Yeah. And we're at commercial break. One second. At commercial break. Yeah, yeah. All those massive companies are greedy. It's just the nature of it. Yeah. Because part of it is it looks at multiple sites, and then it pretty much combines everything from those sites into one coherent sentence almost. So it's one claim that's citing 4 different sources that don't actually say what that claim is. Well, like, are kind of adjacent to it. It's a mess. There's a reason that because the Google one that tells you the sources it gets its information from, you can make that claim. You can double check it. But there's could probably be a time where that's not the case. Yeah. Yeah, I do as well. It's a weird time to be growing up. I'm glad I'm pretty much done with school after right now. Yeah. So 11:15 to go in the game. Birmingham set to send this one down. Kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 10-ish. Space out past the 20, past the 25, and brought down right around the 30. Yeah, but again, it's never going to be in a spot to where it should be an end-all, be-all for anything. And that's the thing that people are expecting from it, when it's just not feasible. Yeah. Morton in shotgun, back to his right. Play action looking to throw, rolling right, buying some time. Will take it himself, and that's a gain of roughly 5. Obviously, I'm going to be more nostalgic for like the early 2010s and late 2000s, which is like the start of like probably of like well of like social media today and all that. But like even then, like it wasn't like prominent in the same way. Second and 6. Morton in shotgun, back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. Going to look to throw. With some time, will step up and take it himself. Now passing left side, that's caught at midfield and a big hit. But Aesop Winston hangs on to it. And there's a stoppage with 10:28 to play. Could have been a holding call against Columbus there, but doesn't seem like anything is thrown currently. We'll see if Birmingham wants to challenge this. And there is a penalty marker down. Okay. Probably going to be holding against Columbus. Yeah. Well, because well, when most people think of what artificial intelligence could be, most of them probably go to like HAL 9000 or mostly like sci-fi stuff. We have these really really advanced computer systems for space travel and all that, or even like future related movies like Back to the Future 2 and all that. So they're expecting those when it's just not at that point and probably won't ever be at that point because it is fantasy or fiction, better word for it. Yep, so it'll be holding against Columbus. Yeah. Doing like and that's why like specialized usages for it are gonna be obviously better and be looked at a bit better compared to just the general stuff. They're reviewing something on this. Are they reviewing for an illegal forward pass? Not holding, okay. And yeah, it will be ruled an illegal forward pass. So ball on their own 30. Morton in shotgun, back to his right, looking to throw. Pressure coming, stepping up, gonna take it himself. Past the 35 and fighting his way for the first. Past the 40 to the 42. Jalen Morton with his legs doing wonders for this Columbus offense. These are plays that McLennan was just not making. So 1st and 10 coming up. Morton in shotgun, a back all around him. One to his left, one to his right, one behind him. Going to look to throw. Pressure coming. Morton's pass left side is incomplete. Looking for Saquandre White. Couldn't hang on to the errant pass as Morton gets drilled in the backfield. Yeah, that's a nice hit while he was trying to deliver that ball. Oh, there's an unnecessary roughness penalty against Columbus on this. Gonna be against Quandre White, and they're moving them back. Okay, so 9:34 to play in the game. It'll be a 3rd and long coming up for the Aviators. Or no, 2nd and long. Because it was an after the play penalty. That's their 10th penalty against in this game. Birmingham only has 3. Yeah, but they're getting some help here from Columbus shooting themselves in the foot like they always do. Morton and shotgun, a back to each side, go into play action and look to throw. With some time, pass over the middle is low and incomplete. Off the chest of Tay Martin as he was trying to slide for that ball. 3rd and 27 coming up. Again, like, both teams like to shoot themselves in the foot. Columbus just does it more. So 3rd and 25. Jalen Morton in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. They need close to midfield. Ball's on their own 27-yard line. Morton looking to throw. Pressure coming, stepping up. And taking himself out past the 40 and slipping his way down to about the 42. Not going to be nearly enough for the first. And they will punt this one away with just under 8:20 to play in the game. Shooting themselves in the foot is what Columbus does best. So 4th and 10. Punt comes off clean. Going to be returned beginning from the 14. Gets out past the 20 and down to the 22. $7:44 to play in the game. We're going to head to a commercial break. Stallions. Yeah. All they just need to kill time on this drive. Don't even need to be like doesn't need to be a massive success or find the end zone. Kill as much time as you can. Get points off of this, maybe. And just go from there. But at commercial break. Oh yeah. It would also be the first Stanley Cup won by a Canadian team in like 30 some odd years. So 32 years, I think, is the exact number. I don't think Montreal's gonna win it this year. I think that's probably gonna be Vegas at this point. But it would be cool. Yeah. But we have had like affiliates still win like championships in the same year, because for a while the Florida Panthers affiliate also won the championship the same year the Panthers won the cup. But yeah, it's not same city. True. The start of this game was chaos. Since then, it's kind of been cooling off a bit, but it's still been an offensive game. Stallions offense finding some drive here, finding some momentum. They have ball with 7:44 to play, up by 8, looking to put this one on ice. It would be It would be funny if Montreal does it. I know some fan bases that would be pissed, but I doubt it. Just coming back from commercial break. $7:44 to play. Tomorrow is a doubleheader, beginning with Dallas and Louisville, ending with St. Louis and Houston. So far, still only the Orlando Storm have clinched a playoff spot, which is kind of shocking considering I was not expecting them to even be. I was not expecting them to be the 1 seed before the season started. DTR from shotgun hands this off up the middle. That'll be a gain of about 2. Good. Second and 8 coming up. Yeah, that's also true. DTR and shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Man in motion on that left side. DTR gonna hand this off up the middle for Tyron Davis-Price. Gonna fight his way past the 30 to about the 31. A gain of 7. 3rd and 1 coming up. Yeah, but DC also could have avoided all of this if they just beat Louisville one of those other 2 weeks, but instead of they've kind of left things out of their control now at this point. Tony Fields being taken off the field, got banged up after that previous play. Yeah, and it's a sad fall off as well if they do end up losing 4 straight to end of the year and missing the playoffs. Because I mean, that's a defending champs right there. It's just not being able to fully put it together towards the end, especially after how hot they were during their 5-game win streak. In shotgun back to his left, 3rd and 1, handoff up the middle. Gonna be barely enough for the first. It's Davis-Price fighting his way for exactly a yard. So 1st and 10. DTR and shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the left as well. Play action looking to throw. Pressure comes quick. DTR just lofts this one up along that right side. Going to be out of bounds and incomplete. Dangerous throwing there. Trying to get the RPO working, which just gets blown up instantly. Yeah, that's somehow DTR gets rid of that ball. That's an impressive throwaway. So 2nd and 17. That now saying he was down by contact, so he's sacked. To a degree, Birmingham has an offensive line. It works in waves, it seems. 5:10 to play in this one. DTR and shotgun. Gonna keep it himself right side in the read option and will just slide down at the line for no gain. YouTube, I love how weird YouTube chat is probably being right now. Just watching all this. Yeah, YouTube. 3rd and 17. YouTube is just being weird, I guess. DTR alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, looking to throw. Passing deep left side is overthrown and incomplete. Looking for Jabri Barber. And Columbus's defense does their job. Now it's time for the offense with 4:19 to play. Gonna need a solid drive here. Fourth and 17. Yeah, see if that if it, this God, YouTube. Play clock's winding down there. How is that? There's the stop. Yeah, there's a penalty marker down. They're gonna get this offsides instead. Kickoff return beginning from the 15. There's another penalty now down and returned up past the 30 to the 34. That should have been one a delay of game against Birmingham. Two, they might be saying Columbus is offside here. And then who knows what the penalty is near the return spot. Of any team that would move to Michigan to become the Panthers, the Stallions would be the last one. It seems like two penalties against Columbus here. Two fouls, both on Columbus. One's offside against Columbus, which will be declined. During the return, we have holding against Columbus. That will be enforced. So 10 yards from the end of the kick. Gonna start from there. I am also mad about the Michigan Panthers not being a team. I think they will be back sooner rather than later. But okay, ABC just bugged out. But it's yeah, I think the Michigan Panthers will be back sooner rather than later. Yeah, and spring football needs the Stallions. Like it doesn't feel right having a spring football league without the Stallions at this point. So 1st and 10. Ball now on their own, about 9-yard line. Morton looking to throw. Pass over the middle is a dangerous one that's incomplete. They're showing old highlights of Georgia versus Vanderbilt. As one of the sideline reporters and one of the broadcasters were on both sides of that game. So 2nd and 10, 3 minutes to play. Morton in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right, going to look to throw once again. Sidestepping right, has some time, going to take it himself up the middle. Breaks off one defender, has room down that left side for the first. Past the 20 and down to about the 24. Jalen Morton's legs have been great so far. Columbus Aviators have the ball. With one more play needed before the 2-minute warning. So 1st and 10. Morton in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right, going to look to throw. With some time, pass over the middle is wide open for Gunnar Oaks. Room past the 45 and tripping up right around midfield and near their own 49-yard line. The Columbus Aviators are approaching Birmingham territory at the 2-minute warning. A high throw for Jalen Morton, but makes it to where Gunnar Oaks can go up and get it with ease. And the Columbus Aviators Very much still alive in this one. We head to a commercial break for the 2-minute warning. Yeah. No, DC wasn't. So the Michigan Panthers are now the Columbus Aviators. That's where they moved to technically. So this is kind of like a rivalry renewed to a degree, though I don't think it will stick. Especially once the Panthers come back. As we're at commercial break for the 2-minute warning. Yeah. Jalen Morton has been a breath of fresh air for this Columbus offense. It makes you think how the season would have gone if he was a starter from week 1, but kind of besides the point. This has been a solid one. The Michigan Panthers were building such a nice fan base over there. If they're not back for 2028, it's kind of a missed opportunity. Because and I think they will be, because next year Michigan is getting a new MLS stadium, so that'll be where they play. They're at roughly midfield. I think their own 49 is what's going to be ruled. We'll see. But we're at commercial break for the 2-minute warning. Yeah, they're roughly midfield. It'll be 1st and 10, as they just picked up the first. With 2 minutes to go. It's been a fun game. I think Teamu will have one more year at the very least. Because he's still on the younger side compared to things. But yeah, eventually they'll take the Dallas route where they lean the younger guy like they did with Austin Reed this year over Luis Perez. But I think Teamu still has some time before that happens. Especially with just how different the season's going to be now, with him being hurt the final 2 weeks. Just coming back from commercial break. Well, yeah, now that we're under 2 minutes, they would be able to punt, but there's no point in punting at this point, being down by 8. Yeah. So ruling it ball on their own 48. So they need 52 yards for the end zone. Morton in shotgun, back to his left, going to look to throw once again. With some time, passing deep right side. Slightly underthrown, it's incomplete, but there's a penalty. Gonna be DPI against the Stallions, and that's clear. Being called against, I believe that's Stephen Gilmore? Yeah, Stephen Gilmore called for the DPI as there was a bit of a pull. Gonna make it 1st and 10 deep in Stallion territory. It was Aesop Winston running right by him. And he didn't allow him to try to get back to the ball. It's a tough one. Yeah. A minute 54 to play. No, it's a clear DPI. That gets called more often than not, even in the NFL. So 1st and goal, ball on the 10-yard line. Morton alone in shotgun. 3 receiving options to the left, 2 to the right. Going to look to throw. With some time, pass back of the end zone, too high and incomplete. Looking for Kiki Chisholm. 2nd and goal coming up. Jalen Morton is the quarterback for Columbus in this one. He got the start over Jalen McClellan. As through 2 months of action, McClellan has not been doing enough. Morton in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Ball in the 10. Morton, play action looking to throw. Pressure coming. Pass left side, well off the mark and incomplete. That guy is great. His stuff started popping up on my feed after Miami played Cleveland last year. Even if they don't, I mean, is there a thought of kicking the field goal here with how your defense has been playing, having all 3 timeouts? Morton in shotgun, back to his right. Tay Martin in the backfield to his left. Going to look to throw once again. Pressure coming, trying to escape, rolling right. Has some space, will take it himself. Inside the 5, lowering the shoulder to stretch forward. Puts him at the half-yard line. You have to go for it. On the half-yard line, you go for it. Even if you don't get it, you're putting them so far back in their own territory. But Jalen Morton, his legs have been a difference maker in this game. Oh, that's close, actually. Hold on, that's close. The spot is, the rule on the field is half-yard line. He might have crossed the plane there. That camera angle, it looks like he's in. He looks like he's in. He might have crossed the plane by the tip of the football. They're gonna take a look at this. When does the knee officially touch down? That's the main question. Again, either way, they should probably go for it. If they don't get it, they go for it as a clear move. That is close. Either way, fantastic running from Jalen Morton on 3rd and goal. It's gonna be a touchdown. Jalen Morton from 10 yards out. What a run. It's within 2. With 1:19 to play. That is Jalen Morton, man. He's been playing fantastic in this game, going against his former team. What a run. Again, that is a play you would not see Jalen McClellan make. And that is the difference maker in a game, like in most games, is having the quarterback that can use his legs like that. So they're going to go for 2. We're going to go for 2 to try and tie things up. We could be getting overtime in this. But both teams have all their timeouts. So who knows? Morton in shotgun. 2 receiving options to each side. Back to his left. This game is living up, is surpassing expectations. Birmingham seemingly stacking the box. Morton in shotgun. Man in motion left to right. Going to look to throw. Morton with time. Pass. End zone. It's caught by Kiki Chisholm. What a grab in the back of the end zone. It's tied with 1:37 to play. Jeez. That's just not fair, man. That's not a fair catch. One-handed defender draped all over him. Somehow gets his foot in bounds. That is a fantastic catch. That is a beaut. With pressure in his face, Jalen Morton just put it up there. Is there a foot down, though? Hold on. We're going to take a look at this. It's going to be close. Rule on the field is the try was good. That left, as it stands, is a great catch. He has control through the ground. My question is more so on the foot. Ruling on the field is confirmed. Game is tied. Was not expecting this type of matchup between these two after last week, but I'm here for it. No, he has enough control. My question was always, did he get a foot down before? But they're saying he did. But what a sequence there for Columbus. Now it's time for Dorian Thompson-Robinson to work some magic. Yeah. I'm so just confused though, because I've never seen that happen before with YouTube, which just doesn't show people for certain viewers. It's weird. Yeah, that's fair. Jalen Morton's averaging 9 yards a carry in this one. While throwing for over. That's a kickoff underway. That's going to be returned beginning from the 5. I thought it was going out of bounds for a second. Spaced out past the 20 and out of bounds around the 23. A minute 33 to play in this. Oh, yeah, obviously, if you're a Stallions fan, this is close to. This is blood. This is a blood pumpingly stressful, but it's kind of just been the Stallions this season. They've played a lot. They've played a lot of close games. All right, so 1st and 10. In shotgun, back to his left, looking to throw. With some time, trying to roll to his left. Pass left side, going to be out of bounds, incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up. Yeah. If Columbus's defense forces a 3 and out, this could be interesting. Yeah. The thing is, you don't want to turn the ball over. You're gonna want to force Columbus to actually move the ball down the field. But you yourself, you're gonna need to take a few risks here potentially. DTR quick pass left side is intercepted. Has not been tagged down yet. Is DJ Miller. Return has space inside the 10, the 5. It's a pick 6 for Columbus. DJ Miller, the all UFL corner for the Panthers last year, puts the Aviators on top with a minute 15 to play. Just said you don't want to take too much risk. And you throw a pick 6. Wow. A minute 15 to play, and now all the pressure is on the Stallions. DJ Miller. He's still been really good this year, but he's been quiet to a degree. Last year, he had some great games, including against the Stallions later on in that season last year. And he's right back to haunting this team. The extra point from Joe Nadalmas is up, and it is good. They lead by 7. There's still plenty of time, but Columbus has the momentum. Yeah, that has to be miscommunication to some degree. I'm not sure who DTR was throwing that. If Mickens turns around where the broadcast believes he's supposed to, that's directly to him. Mickens, there might have been an option route then for Mickens that was miscommunicated on based off what the defense gave. Because Mickens turned inside when DTR seemingly expected him to sit. But DJ Miller, nonetheless, taking advantage of it. What a turn of events in these final 45 seconds. There's a minute 15 remaining. There's still plenty of time left with all 3 timeouts for them to tie this up. But now just all the pressure is on them in a nicely packed out historic Crew Stadium as Columbus is trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Kickoff underway, going to be out of bounds. That's a good start. Birmingham will begin from their own 40. So they get some help there. Yeah, I mean, because you need to cool off DTR here, because the emotions are gonna be running high after that. You need to cool him down, have him like make sure he's in the right headspace to lead this drive. DTR in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right, ball on their own 40. They need 60 yards. Pass right side caught by a wide open Dawood Davis. Gets enough for the first. Out of bounds around the Columbus 46. All right. They're going up tempo. DTR and shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Going to look to throw once again. Pass right side. Gonna be intercepted again. What a one-handed grab. It's O'Donnell Fortune. They're ruling this incomplete currently, but I think he got a foot down there. That should also be offensive pass interference. So he's in bounds. What a grab for O'Donnell Fortune, his second of the game. What a pick. Looking for Justin Ross, and he's in bounds there. He has possession. That's an insane interception. It should be offensive pass interference either way, if even this is an interception. Oh, there's the ball hidden down. Still, though, that's an incredible adjustment and a damn near incredible interception, but that camera angle showed the ball touchdown. Yeah, so it's confirmed that it's incomplete because there's very slight movement once the ball hits the ground there. So now offensive pass interference needs to be enforced. Wow. That is still nearly an incredible grab. The Aviators are challenging for offensive pass interference, which they're going to win. They're going to make this a bit more of a tough situation for the Stallions. This looks like it should be OPI. Yeah, through a majority of that, it looked like a grab, and then they finally showed a replay where you can see the ball move a bit. So now Columbus is challenging for offensive pass interference. Which, they're going to win that, yeah. So offensive pass interference being enforced against Justin Ross. 1:04 to play. So that came so close. Either way, Donald Fortune having himself a really damn good game. So 1st and 20 coming up. All right. The ball now on their own 43. DTR and shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the right as well. Looking to throw. Dump off right side for Snoop Connor. Gonna try to find some space. Gonna pick up about 3 or 4. That's the UFL. That's what I missed. When did Columbus call? Birmingham calls their first time out. Columbus also called one earlier, I guess. I must have missed. It's a roller coaster. And best Stallions football this year. They've had a ton of roller coaster of emotions this season throughout multiple games. All right, 56 seconds to play. Oh, they gave Columbus a timeout back there. I was confused for a second. DTR and shotgun back to his right, going to look to throw in 2nd and 16. Pass over the middle is caught for the first and more. That's a big hit at the 33-yard line. That's a massive hit, but the Stallions keep the chains moving. Clock will briefly stop with 51 seconds. 33 yards out from the end zone. That's a great throw for DTR. In shotgun back to his right, looking to throw once again. Pass left side into triple coverage is incomplete. Looking for Jaden Mickens. That's a dangerous throw. So 2nd and 10 coming up. Second and 10. DTR and shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the left, going to look to throw. With some time, pass left side's a dangerous one. That's luckily incomplete. A little bit too far inside for Dion Kane, who had to play defense there, as that was directly to Columbus. 3rd and 10 coming up. Third and 10. 38 seconds. I see. DTR and shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the left, looking to throw. With some time, pass right side, caught by a wide open receiver along the sideline is Dawood Davis for the gain of 11. And he gets out of bounds with 33 seconds. This game has everything. First and 10. Ball on roughly the 22. I was saying 23. DTR and shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Man in motion on that left side. Robinson looking to throw. Pressure coming. Escapes. Ball's loose. Stallions have it back at the 31. Tyron Davis-Price falls on it to keep the game alive. But that's a dangerous play. Oh yeah, he tries to shovel that forward, but it gets hit loose before he's able to. Second timeout called for the Stallions. 26 seconds remain. Yeah, he can be reckless at times, but that same recklessness can lead to some great plays. There's 26 seconds remaining for the Stallions. Might add some time back here after with timeout being called. Yeah, but I don't think the ball leaves his hand freely without contact before it actually fully comes loose. That's gonna be a fumble still. Ball on the 31-yard line of Columbus. Second and 19, DTR and shotgun, back to his right, two receivers to each side looking to throw. Pressure coming, pass right side, going to be incomplete. David Davis, the intended target, he gets hit early there before the ball arrives, and he's slow to get up along that Birmingham sideline. Shocked there's no DPI on that. Because he gets hit pretty early there. 30 and 18 coming up. Yeah. It is crazy how expensive hockey jerseys can be. Alone in shotgun, DTR looking to throw. Pressure coming, stepping up, will take it himself. Flips at the 24 and be brought down there. There's the final timeout for the Stallions, and it will all come down to this. As Fred Tompkins is slow to get up for the Columbus. So I think actually the Aviators will have to burn a timeout here instead. Going to basically need 24 yards. Yeah, that's the case with them. That's the case with most fandoms. So Columbus will call their first due to injury. 13 seconds to play in the game. So 4th and 11. Yeah, even the UFO was tweeting out about that almost interception from O'Donnell Fortune. That would have been insane if he hung on to that. All right, so 4th and 11. Game comes down to this. Yeah, this is a tough one for the Stallions. This has been a tough one. They had an 8-point lead with 5 minutes to play, and all they needed was a solid drive. They went 3 and out. Columbus then goes the length of the field to tie the game, plus a 2-point conversion, which was already the touchdown to tie the game was a fantastic run from Jalen Morton. The 2-point conversion was an insane catch from Kiki Chisholm. And then 2 plays into Birmingham's next drive, you have DJ Miller doing what he does best, which is picking off a Stallions quarterback, which gave them the lead. Like, it's 3 great plays to get to this point. On top of the 3 and out by the Stallions, but it was 3 fantastic plays. DTR and shotgun, back to his right, looking to throw in 4th and 11. With time, pass deep, right side, end zone, incomplete. Slightly overthrown for Jordan Thomas. Ball was into double coverage, and the Columbus Aviators stay alive. Their playoff hopes live on. as they do what they've done all season, which is win the second of a back-to-back. I don't get that. Especially when Barber is open over the middle. Like, it's not wide open, but it's open enough to where it gives you a better chance. But I don't get the decision to launch one deep there for Jordan Thomas. Like, yeah, you have the height advantage, but still. And we now have a desperation challenge for the Stallions. They're going to say DPI. They want to challenge this. Looking to see if it's going to be against O'Donnell Fortune for a DPI. Mainly for that left arm. And that's a pretty quick review. Birmingham is going to lose the challenge. And the Columbus Aviators stay alive for their playoff hopes. It's a tough one. It's a tough end to again. The Stallions were in control of this game for a large majority of it. Columbus got their first lead of the game with that pick six by DJ Miller. As there's the final kneel down. So the Columbus Aviators win a game in which at one point they were down 13-1. Sure. What a win for Columbus. What a great game. Third win at home this season. They have one more home game next week. They're going to need a lot of help, but their playoff hopes are alive. Tomorrow is a doubleheader at 4 p.m. It is the Dallas Renegades going to Louisville for the Kings' last home game of the season. And then at 7, at 4 is that. At 7, it is St. Louis traveling to Houston. I'll be live for both of them. So tomorrow, a doubleheader. We appreciate everyone tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow. I'll see you all next time. Have yourselves a damn good one. Peace.